What shirt did I wear? 1 second.
Yeah?
Should I go change my shirt?
No?
No, dude. They're gonna think that I'm dirty. They don't know that washing machines exist.
Let me see what shirt I was wearing.
That's what I
They're
always
gonna
thought in
think
school.
that
If I
I'm
ever
dirty.
wore like the same clothes too often, I'd think that they'd think I was dirty because nobody thinks about a washing machine.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to talk about first?
I'm recording right now, so I'm just waiting for somebody to say something funny enough for an intro.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is the Creepy Crawlies podcast. Here we got Rami. Yeah, let's say hello, Rami.
Hi.
Welcome. Gerald.
It's Cryptid Crawlies, you dumb fucking idiot.
Fuck. You know what? Fuck it.
That's perfect.
Guys, we can't swear in the first however many minutes of the podcast.
Oh no!
That was perfect. We're not monetized.
Yeah, this is
We're
the
gonna
Christmas
get demonetized,
episode.
Gerald.
Yeah.
This is the Christmas episode, everybody. So enjoy.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Welcome to Crimson.
Merry Christmas. Happy Crazy.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah.
So what are we
guys?
talking about
Wait,
first?
Guys, if we're gonna do a Christmas episode, shouldn't we do a Hanukkah episode though?
Shit, maybe.
Rami, are
Is
you
there a
Jewish?
SCP?
I could be.
Is there a Jewish SCP?
Yeah.
SCP-9999.
What the fuck?
We're gonna get canceled.
That was funny.
One viewer's gonna hate us after this, bro.
That was funny, dude. You know it.
It was funny, yeah. I have this coworker at work.
They've got one Hanukkah. Sorry.
I'm not gonna name drop him, but there's one coworker at work that's he's a Nazi. He's just straight up a Nazi. Like, he really hates Jewish people. Like, he doesn't do anything with it, but he has some crazy beliefs on this whole deal.
That is not reflective of our podcast or of Nick.
No, not at all. Like, I just work with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's just a crazy fucking dude.
Okay.
You live in Florida.
Yeah, I do live in Florida.
The majority of people.
Fucking hell, I forgot my coolers everywhere.
Yeah, guys, there's one Hanukkah SCP, and it's 1650. It's about a clay oil pot dating back to the Hasmonean period, Judea, circa 170 BCE, and it's got inscriptions in Hebrew, and I'm not reading the rest of it right now.
Type shit. What does Hebrew? This is the question that needs answering. This is a generational question right here.
T, probably, if I had to guess.
Okay. So, SCP-4666, how y'all feel about that shit?
You just want to jump into that one first?
We're doing that one first?
Do y'all want to do fucking, I don't know which other ones there are. Other than, I didn't really watch the Santa Claus Time Traveler, so I didn't read about him.
The Santa Claus Time Traveler. It's not just, like, the Santa Claus Time Traveler one is really interesting. 4255, Nick. You totally should have fucking watched it because it's honestly my favorite one on here. It's just Santa Claus.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why is he Keter class?
This is
Santa Claus
uncontained. He's not just Keter class. He's listed as cracked veiled uncontained.
Damn.
Do you understand what that means?
Maybe a little bit.
You understand what the veil is, and like
everyone knows about it.
Regardless, explain it for the viewers.
Yeah, so the veil is like the veil of secrecy around the Foundation, and a cracked veil scenario just means that like it could end secrecy. And so this guy is so uncontained that if people were to find out about him, they'd be like, shit.
So is the best way to contain said thing to just let people think it's a mystery?
Well, so the way they contain this guy, which they don't have him contained, but the way that they like operate, the standard operating procedures for it is every year, starting on November 22nd, they release mimetic agents through like all media forms like TV and literature and social media and even like performing arts. and these mimetic agents implant false memories in the parents and guardians of children that celebrate Christmas, so that they remember purchasing and placing gifts. But in fact, it's Santa Claus that's placing these gifts in their houses. And then on December 24th, they track him with unarmed military aircraft, and then after December 25th, they if people get any pictures of him or anything like that, they say that it's like, oh, this is hoax. This is a hoax. And if it gets too bad, they administer Class A amnestics and purge
Damn.
social media of all related information. See,
Class A?
whew, excuse me. Yeah, they don't. They
Jeez.
really just don't want people knowing about this guy. But he's
Interesting.
just a man. Well, he's actually not just a man. He's a man of interesting stature.
Oh yeah, I remember this shit. I didn't read it, but I know what this is going towards.
Joe, this guy stands at 1 meter 1.4 meters tall, 150 kilograms. Now, do you want to know what that is in feet and inches? Do you want to know what that is in American fuck units?
He's 3 feet tall, over 240 pounds.
He's 4'6", 330.
I mean, I was right that he's over those things. What the
This
hell?
is the most stout man I've ever fucking heard of.
By the way, I'm
That's
turning
7
off
pounds in an
my my background.
Gerald's become so distressed with that information that he descended into a blurred reality.
Yeah.
They're gonna
just don't like
classify
the
your
player.
ass.
You need to go home right now.
What
You need to
SCP
go
are we,
fuck home.
boys? What SCP are we?
SCP-0935, obviously.
Oh my
Something creepy. Perhaps.
Nobody's gonna get that. None of our viewers are ever gonna understand what I just said there.
I understand.
We're
Should
gonna
we
leave
refer
it
to
like
ourselves
that.
as that from now on? Is there already one of those?
No. Well, yes, of course there is. What?
No, there's no
okay.
0935. There's only 935.
The zero's implied.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to talk about this one day. We'll have to talk about how we have competitors.
We have competition and we're not loud.
Yeah, we'll talk
We're not
about how
letting it happen.
nothing bad ever happens to Bose
I'm the 9.
someday.
Nick
not.
is the 3, and Rami's the 5. If you figure it out, you get a shout out in pod, bro.
That doesn't mean anything. You just said things that
means
have no
nothing.
idea. That means nothing.
It does
Shout
mean
out to
nothing.
this fucking guy for saying bullshit.
All right, let us discuss more detail about SCP.
Let me keep talking about this guy. Hold on.
4255.
He's 60 to 70 years old. His manifestations have gone as far back as 400 AD.
Oh, shit.
He's just Santa Claus, though.
He's
Like,
a powerful wizard, dude.
I don't think he's a wizard. So this guy is virtually impossible to contain because he shows up in every period of history and in seemingly non chronological order. Like, because at one point in this SCP they talk about how up to 200 and something. What was the number exactly? I don't know. Up to 294 versions of him have appeared simultaneously across the globe, but they experience like a little bit of visual differences, as if they're all out of time with each other. And so this guy, as the name of it implies, is a time traveler. He's not just teleporting around the Earth, but traveling in time and space. And he appears to people who celebrate Christmas, and with Christmas being as widespread of a concept as it is, this guy's like impossible to ever contain. He's everywhere.
There's a reason why he's got her. That's true.
And I mean, he's got a sleigh. He's got reindeer. He appears on your roof and then enters your house. They don't actually say anything about a chimney, which I would have preferred if they said like he's got like some spatial distortion like powers that lets him fit through a chimney,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, through my chimney chin.
Something like that.
And yeah, he lands on the rooftop of people that celebrate Christmas regardless of religious background, so you don't have to even be Christian. He knows what the kids want for Christmas with up to a 82.56% accuracy. That one, when I saw that, when I first read 82.56% accuracy, I was like, how the fuck do they, where did this number come from? How did they calculate this number? It's like, at this point, it's getting kind of weird.
It's a little odd. It's a little funky.
So, like, I'd like to, like, what do you guys think so far?
I think that he should be gunned down at all times.
Yo.
Okay.
Why? It's claws, bro.
I mean,
No, I think that it would definitely be an interesting conceptual to think that Santa Claus is a short little fat dude. No disrespect to the man, my boy Claus. Bless up. But
yeah, no disrespect to Stan.
it seems interesting that it's 400 AD. Why specifically 400 AD and no earlier? You know, or no later?
What happened in 400 AD?
Because he was a time traveler, right? Why is it 400 AD that's the important part of all that?
Well, when does Christmas start? When is our like earliest concept of Santa Claus in the real world?
I'm not sure, but it's not based in Christian theology or in Christian ideology.
No. But I mean,
The
like
naming, the
modern
nomenclature
Christmas is a very
of
Christmas
Feast
thing, or a
Moose.
very Christian thing.
I think it's more of a European like concept.
Oh, okay. Well, so here's the thing. The concept of Santa, like at its earliest seems to date back to Saint Nicholas, the Greek Christian bishop of Myra, and that
Mhm.
was in the 4th century.
Yes, that is true. That's
So,
probably why they say 400 AD. That makes sense.
yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, he's a cool motherfucker. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. Yeah, Saint Nick.
Well, if you want to learn about Saint Nick, you got to tune in to our other podcast, History Crawlies, where we talk all about history.
That doesn't exist.
Not yet.
No, he punched a dude.
Oh shit.
He punched a dude?
Yeah, they were in like a meeting.
For what?
Well, basically the guy said that Jesus was not God, and he was like, okay, and then just decked him right in the middle, right in the face. That's really funny.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite.
For that.
He's my spirit
Amen,
animal, bro. As a Christian, as the resident Christian or the token Christian in this conversation.
This is the guy you want to be associating yourself with.
No, that guy's baller as fuck. In the middle of a giant meeting, he just punched the fuck out of somebody.
No.
Hey, bro, listen,
okay.
he gives presents to kids, man.
Yeah, but he also, that is
kids.
true. He was known for doing that as well. Or at least the legend goes that he would give presents to families and stuff. And gifts. I don't remember the exact timing of it, but yeah, that he would do that.
So
not like the extent he would just do it in his hometown, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or wherever he was at that time.
So the next part of this article, we get into the interview, because they interviewed this guy. They got him at one point. And the way they interviewed him was, first of all, before I even get into that, if you're interested in hearing like a fully voice acted out version of this, check out the Volgun, our Lord and Savior, for he has made a video on it.
He's a beast.
Link in the description. We got to credit that guy.
Absolutely.
If you haven't heard of him yet, I don't know
great video. If you're watching this fucking podcast, you've heard of the Volgun, I think.
I mean, like, if you haven't, bro,
and if you haven't,
don't watch.
Go check him out.
Yeah, like, go watch him instead. And I'm not saying that because I hate our podcast. I'm saying that because that shit's great. That shit's
amazing.
Good time.
Extremely well. It basically the dude.
Content.
We're gonna talk about the Volgun now. I need to like do a little bit of a spiel. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Basically, the Volgun is a YouTube channel that has been around for a long time.
A minute.
Like he's had videos from like 12 years ago, plus like past that, I think.
Yeah.
That's at least a minute.
I've been listening to him since I was probably about 18, like when or 18,
Man.
19 age when I first joined the army and stuff. I'd listened to it before that prior, but not like to any depth. But he was the only dude I knew that was in the SCP community when I knew nothing about SCP. So he's pretty fucking up there. But he has absurdly high quality videos. Every single one of his videos is as if you are a student in a class taught by somebody within the Foundation. They're very well voice acted. They're very well. They're very in depth. They talk a significant amount on the actual topic and the matter. It's very, very well produced, and he is a legend within the SCP community. So, if anyone would like to go listen to somebody who is significantly more knowledgeable and has a lot more oomph to their videos, you can go do that. We will put him in the description because he's awesome, and he's how we sometimes research what we're gonna talk about in the pod. So,
Yeah.
He's how I make these guys fucking read at SCP because they don't just read the article when I send it to them. They watch the Volgun video.
My fucking attention span's far too short for all that reading bullshit.
I just listen to him when I'm working, like when I go to work and stuff.
I want Dr. J. Miller to talk in
On my drive
for
home
30
and back,
minutes,
I listen to the
J.
Volgun.
Miller.
So.
Dude, hell yeah.
But yeah, that's our little spiel. Getting back to the topic at hand, Santa Claus. Let us hop into this interview.
How did they interview him, Rami?
So they, ahead of his manifestation in 2018, they prepared a bunch of Foundation personnel homes with audio transmission devices. And so like he shows up in the house and then over a speaker, they're like, "Hey, what's up, Santa Claus?" And so it's interviewer researcher Meher, Meher, Mehr. I am not exactly sure, but researcher Charlotte Meher. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. And so they get this guy to like, hey, what's up? I'm from an organization, and they're like, and he cuts him off. He goes, the SZP Foundation? Question mark. They told me I'd run into you guys today. So already off to a strange start. They? Who the fuck is they? And the SZP Foundation? That's almost it. And so they correct him. And he's like, oh, yeah, they? It's the U.S. Department of Guys, how do you pronounce this word?
Chronology.
Chronology? The U.S. Department of Chronology. Which, you know, doesn't fucking exist right now. And he's like, wait, what year is it? And they tell him. And so yada fucking yada in this interview. He talks about so he talks about how he is a man called Stan Klein. Oh, excuse me. And he is a time traveler from the year 2099. And he likes to time travel, and he likes to do it so he can go and get like Hitler's paintings and artifacts from the pyramids. Is actually this is somewhat irrelevant to everything else, but well, that's Gerald's fault.
Oh, it's not.
It's kind of my fault.
He talks about a block from those pyramids that were in Africa. Irrelevant to the SCP as a whole, that line, but to me that implies that the pyramids are no longer in Africa or don't exist anymore, which I don't know which is a funnier. I feel like if they're not in Africa, the British Museum finally got their hands on the pyramids. That's what that sounds like to me.
That's funny.
It did make sense.
The British will be fucking stealing.
They've been doing it the entire time.
They have been doing it the entire time.
They do be just taking shit and then getting angry. People like, give it back.
They are not giving it back.
Like, no, this is our history now.
It is.
Shout out to my boys at the British Museum.
I love the British people. I have nothing against them whatsoever. And
no, it's just the museum.
Anything bad towards the British. So this guy, Stan Klein, he's a time traveler from the year 2029. He's blatantly told them that. He's not hiding shit. And so he goes on to further explain that what he was doing, he got caught. like for misusing time travel technology.
Mhm.
And the U.S. Department of Chronology was like, "Ah, man, you can't be doing that. We gotta punish you somehow." And his punishment was to do Christmas.
Huh.
Um, and so,
Always.
well, so for 2.5 years, 2 to 2.5 years, he says he does one Christmas every day. So he goes around, he does a little Christmas, and he does it. And then sometime in the 5th century, he was doing Christmas, and he told a kid his name, and he was like, "Yeah, my name's Stan Claus," or Stan Clain, that's his name. And the kid was like, Santa Claus, Santa Claus," and he went around. He's like, "Guys, that guy's Santa Claus." And so yeah, so
Telephone
Your
game at its
punishment
peak.
being
that's
that you
how
have to
Santa
do
Claus.
Christmas.
That's why he's named Santa Claus. His name's Stan Clain, and they thought his name was Santa Claus. And at this point in the interview, he starts to panic because he's like, "Man, why the fuck? How did they catch me? I don't know." And then he goes, "Wait, fuck! They caught me because of this interview log right here. Shit, I gotta go." And then he goes, and they never catch him again, and they find no records of a man named Stan Clain at that point in time.
This isn't fucking.
Now, that's kind of where, for a long time, that's where this story stands. But then they have addendum 4252-2, which is dated September 4th, 2097. And so this guy was talking about how he's from 2099. Pretty close, pretty close.
Mhm.
And in that year, on that day, the Foundation establishes the Foundation Department of Chronology, which is about the replication and control of time travel. And parallels were drawn, and they realized, shit, it was us that made Santa Claus. And
Motherfuckers.
so now they find him. They find the man, and they take him into custody. And they found out, oh wait, he really do got a time traveling anomaly. And they're like, so if they don't do anything here, if they just like hold him in custody, it could cause a potential CK class reality reconfiguration scenario or a PT class paradoxical time breakdown scenario.
Yeah.
Which
Neither are good.
neither sound
Neither are
good.
good.
Neither sound very good.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, and so they help him do it. They build the sleigh. They hook it up with several anomalies, granting it controlled flight. They equip it with small scale temporal anomalies. They put 8 heat resistant models of shit that resembles the, this is what the article says, now extinct reindeer. Oh, they say the Latin name for it, but so in the year 2097, the reindeer is extinct, guys.
If that happens,
Ouch.
Unfortunate.
I'm gonna cry.
And yeah, you're gonna cry, dude. Dude, reindeer, they just want to like chill in the
Like
snow
frolic and shit.
and eat piss covered snow that makes them trip.
That is true.
That might be true.
Well, actually, it's people that eat the snow. They eat the mushrooms, and then people eat the yellow snow.
Type shit.
People are odd, man.
And the last part of this is the way that the gifts are distributed. They have this thing, BTKAI, the Beta Temporal Knowledge Artificial Intelligence Unit. It's a Foundation-developed AI that uses time anomalies to access all knowledge from across the linear time frame. It possesses data known up to the year 20 redacted, and so this is why it was 85 or 82.56% accuracy, because you can't really measure the exact accuracy of just some guy picking stuff, but you can definitely measure an AI's accuracy.
Yeah, that is true.
I would know. And
I hate you.
And so that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Right?
That is Santa
It's
Claus.
they set up Santa Claus. Santa Claus. And so this I have a couple points in my notes about this. Um so Santa Claus is just some shithead time traveler that got caught by the Foundation and made to do this shit so they avoid the paradoxical time breakdown, right? Which brings up questions like, where did the concept of Santa Claus originally come from? This is was it fate? Like, did this have a start, or is time just some weird fucking looping paradox that makes it so Santa Claus was created because they created Santa Claus, but also they created Santa Claus because
Santa
he
Claus
was
was there.
created? And
Definitely
also,
causes an issue.
right, it's a weird thing to like wrap your head around. Time's always fucking strange, but this is also, they say that Christmas, that they're gonna stop doing this in the year 21 redacted. So Christmas ends, guys. We're not having Christmas
Damn,
eventually.
That's like the worst news.
No more
No
Christmas.
more Christmas.
I think they hope by the
Christmas in
end of
just
that.
2 weeks.
Christmas is a week away.
I think they hope by the end of that people will get used to the concept and think that they're doing it their own for so long that people will actually start buying gifts, and it's probably supplemented in there in some capacity. But yeah, this is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that is a very interesting concept to think about. I know that I just purchased myself some Christmas gifts, so maybe I'm already on the amnestics. But
The memetics, by the way,
Oh.
not the amnestics.
let me correct myself. Memetics. But
Yeah.
Well, especially why you fucking slept so long earlier, bud. You're on the fucking amnestics.
memetics, you dumb
Jesus.
bitch.
Oh, this guy did wake up late for the
Memetics.
podcast recording.
So I'll go into detail about that little thing because then we'll segue afterwards and I can ignore everything else. So my dumbass literally said, I got home from work. I was like, hey guys, what do y'all think about starting around 6 o'clock, my time or whatever, right? It's currently 8 o'clock and we started at 7. I will explain. So I said, hey, I'm going to set an alarm so that I wake up on time because I want to take a nap so I'm fresh and prepared. I woke up about an hour late to a bunch of calls from Rami, to Rami actually calling me and my phone falling on the floor from vibrating, so it fell on the floor and that woke me up.
That's what woke you up?
Yep, my alarm did not wake me up again. So
Really
I woke
cold.
up in a warm sweat, not even cold sweat, a warm sweat.
It's the worst one.
My phone was aflame, and I was nasty. I was sweaty and I felt gross. And Rami answered, and I answer, I'm like, what time is it? Rami called me. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I totally completely missed the mark. The time frame that I set up, the thing that I set to be. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stupid. We all know this.
I
But
went
yeah.
and got some fucking food and was in here directly at the time. I was like, oh shit. Guys, what's up? And then no one was here. Rami was downstairs arguing with his
Yeah.
mom. Gerald was fucking passed out in a pool somewhere. And I was just eating Culver's for a while. Like, that's
Yeah.
all that was really going on.
That's
So.
that's amazing. But
The
yeah,
funny
fucking
thing was,
weird.
I was late as well. I was 11 minutes late.
yeah, it's better than an hour late. But regardless, speaking of cold sweats and nastiness, I think it's time we transition into a different SCP and one that I personally hate with every fiber of my being.
He's pretty round.
Go ahead, take the reins.
We're gonna transfer into SCP-4666, the Yule Man. I listened to this on the way home from work today, and it deeply unsettled me. So viewer discretion is advised. If you don't want to listen to this one, you may skip it. We are going to talk about some pretty fucked up shit.
Trigger
Rami,
warning for
Yeah.
bodily harm,
Mhm.
for harm of children. Trigger warning for naked men.
Naked European.
That's probably about it.
Yeah.
That's probably about it.
that's pretty much about it. So to begin, I will start off with a few things. So Rami has done an awesome job doing deep research on this, so he can fill in at any point in time with the information. Nick is also familiar with the topic. So
Sadly.
Yeah, it's not great. But we did a really cool, funny one. Now we're doing a creepy one. Um, so those of you who love the creepy bullshit, congratulations. Here we go. So I'll start out by reading the description of SCP-4666. SCP-466 is believed to be a single extremely long-lived humanoid entity of unknown origin. It is described as a very tall, 2 to 2.3 meters, elderly and emaciated European male who appears naked even in freezing temperatures.
There's the naked man trigger warning.
SCP-4666... What?
There's
the
the
naked
naked
man.
man trigger warning.
Yeah, there is the naked man trigger warning. Exhibit also European.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a PN.
Exhibits possible anomalous travel abilities, allowing it to appear instantaneously at locations north of 40 degrees north latitude, and potentially anywhere on Earth. It is actively restricted to a 12-night period every year, from December 21st through 22nd to January 1st through 1st through 2nd. It is referred to as its active phase. During this period, SCP conducts the Weissnacht Act, targeting dwellings that meet the following criteria: isolated rural location, homes and families that include at least one child under the age of 8, and continuous snow cover throughout the event duration. So that is the description of this SCP. You can probably tell from the term the Yule Man that it's fucking creepy as shit. I don't want to show a picture. Y'all can look it up if you want to.
Or from the fact that he's fucking, what was it? He is a 2.3 meter elderly fucking emaciated European male. That's pretty
Yeah.
wicked, dude.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
I don't like normal fucking European males.
Mhm.
Not to mention 2.3 meter tall emaciated
To be
ones. It's
completely
awesome.
honest, both Nick and I are from European descent, so you just
Yeah,
look at
I
our
might be a
faces and
2.3 meter
assume.
tall European man.
You're a
I
big
don't even
man.
know.
Half of my family's from Germany. So am I.
Dude, why are we all 2.3 meter tall European naked men sometimes? Sorry about that.
It's fine. This is stupid.
No, I think this is a great point to interject. We just talked about Santa Claus. This is not Santa Claus.
This is not Santa Claus.
This might be Santa Claus.
This is the opposite of Santa Claus. This might be like, dude, is there an SCP for Krampus, by the way?
This is crazy.
I don't know, dude.
I would love to talk about that one at some point if we ever get a chance. But either way,
Next
so
Christmas.
we'll talk about the special containment procedure now for him, because we're going to go in more detail about his story and whatnot. I'll let Rami take over the Weissnacht event, because it's hard for me to want to discuss it. Or I'll let Nick take it over.
Sure.
Probably Nick will talk about this one specifically.
Hey, Nick, you want to?
Sure, fuck it.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the
Yeah.
special containment procedure really quickly, and then we'll move into the actual Weissnacht event, which is fucked. It is messed up.
You want me to just read them all whenever the time comes?
Yeah, sure, you can read it, and you can also interject your own nickishness to make it less impactful.
Try.
So monitoring for SCP-4666 activity involves trafficking web traffic and law enforcement reports globally for signs of stalking or anomalous events involving families with young children. If a Weissnacht event is suspected, the nearest containment task force will be deployed following standard humanoid first control contact protocols. Deaths linked to SCP-4666 are to be falsified as non-anomalous home invasions. All forensic evidence in SCP-466-6-A instances must be confiscated and all witnesses amnesticized. So, before we completely continue, I will say, obviously, this is Kenner, right? If you read the containment procedure and they say, no, we can't contain him, it's Kenner. So,
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. Pretty much, as you can tell, this is surrounding the Weissnacht event, which Nick will go into more detail about.
Yeah.
Again, one more time, trigger warning, this shit's fucked.
It's fucking rough.
It's rough. I had to not listen to the interview at the end because it fucked with my head too much. So
Yeah, the interview at the end was absolutely fucking raunchy.
yeah, the
That was so
Volgun
rough.
is just so
He's
good
a
at what he
monster.
does.
He's an
Yeah.
animal with it.
Yeah.
Not a monster in a bad way
Yeah.
either. He's a beast.
He's
in
really
his own
good at what
realm
he
with
does.
this shit.
So either way,
I will
Nick,
say it's not really
Mhm.
it's not really the Weissnacht event, it's a
Weissnacht event. Yes,
a
there are
Weissnacht
multiple.
event is
Excuse
just like
me.
whenever it happens to
Mhm.
people.
All right, so now I will pass it over to Nick. You can go into detail about this fuckery.
Alrighty. So, the Weissnacht events progress over about a 12-night pattern. Nights 1 through 7, including, like, children reporting sightings of this SCP or seeing him watch them from a distance across the field or something like that. Or waking up in the night watching them through a window and shit. Like, just some fucking creepy bullshit going on. But night 8 through
Average
11,
stalker.
yeah, straight up average stalker activity. But night 8 through 11, family members start to hear footsteps on the roof and attic. Just some, or like dude, he stinks. He stinks.
He does
They
stink.
smell him from
He
afar.
does.
Dude.
I literally in my notes I put stinks. Lol.
Yeah, he did. He did. He put some funny shit like that. It's fucking horrible. But yeah, but they can smell it happening, and it usually makes them think that they're being stalked or being haunted. And night 12, usually the most common one that happens is he goes in and kills the entire family. Usually through
does.
very torturous methods, just like some fucked up shit, like just the most pain possible.
Yeah.
Only leaving one child alive and abducting them. Under the age of 8, by the way.
Not all the time though.
But
That's
less
true.
commonly, about 15% of the time, he doesn't harm the family at all. But during the night, footsteps are heard, and children discover gifts at the foot of their beds in the morning, which are just little tiny fucking dolls and shit and toys made of like human children, like just completely made of human children in every way. Every
Nick,
part
what
of it
was
made
it
of
that
human
you
children.
told me earlier
What?
about the tendons?
Oh.
Yeah, no, dude. So there's one of them, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for what's coming up, but one of them, he made a drum. He made a drum out of, well, he didn't make the drum, but that's also a spoiler. A drum was made out of like a wooden casing with stretched human skin as the drum
Children.
head.
Stretch kid skin.
Human children's skin. All of this is children shit, by the way. This is every part of these toys are just straight up kids, man. So, but it was tied to the drum by human ligament made into thread, which I feel like would just be really fucking hard to do. Like, just really impossibly hard to do.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a
Dude.
better way to do that.
So in my mind, the visual, because like I just instinctually visualize shit like that when I start thinking about it. The visual in my mind is like like the like spooling machines, like a thread spooling machine. And it's just like a tendon, and it's
It'd just be hard to do. Listen, so I know a little bit more than most people about how tendons work and shit.
yeah.
There's barely. Okay, maybe there's one tendon in the body that'd be close to long enough to get good strips out of, but like it'd just be hard. It'd just be difficult, like needlessly.
Why is the contention of this not the fact that there's a large European man who is anomalous in nature and stalks motherfuckers and kills people in horrific ways? Why is the contention not the fact that he could teleport anyone on Earth, but that he was able to take human children ligaments and turn them into string?
Because this is SCP, and teleportation is the least of my worries at this moment. What are you fucking talking about?
Oh,
I know what you meant, Rami.
I'm not gonna be able to look at it, Rami, because of
No, it's...
because of that.
Because of your recording. Oh
Mhm.
man, I've been trying to ping you in a channel so that I could get a time check from you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give me a time check and cut this part out? Man, fucking use your words, you
38,
piece
you
of
dumb fuck!
shit. 38 minutes?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
keeping this
thank
in, by
you.
the way. Fuck you. You're gonna see this
Type
at
shit,
38
type
minutes
shit,
and
type
40
shit.
seconds.
Alright.
Just type shit and just hold your hands like this. You didn't even do a sign.
That was a gang
John
sign.
Cena?
Dude, I held up the W, bro. You
Did
cannot do
W
that.
like
gang
win?
signs!
That's not even a
You
gang
can't
sign,
do
you
it!
dumb
Fucking gang
motherfucker.
signs!
Well, I'm not from the west side. I'll get shot hard. Please don't play it in, dude.
Dude,
I'm
start
not
throwing
from
up
the west
Crip
side.
signs.
I can't do that.
Oh
Dude, listen,
my
they're
God.
around me.
Don't say that. Why are we saying this? We're three
I'm
white
from
fucking
Florida.
men.
Oh, I'm brown. Come on. I'm
You're
white
partially
passing.
brown. Half of you is white.
I'm white passing.
White pass.
But so the first Wisnach event happened in Croatia around 1498, in which an entire family was killed using paganistic or demonic ritual elements. One child abducted, and the family suffered greatly before death. Another in Canada, around where the Ontario is now, but it was Rupert's Land back then, back in 1689. Naked man tortured a family. One child escaped, another abducted, but the bodies were found hanging upside down and exsanguinated. And if you don't know what exsanguination is, that's where you take all the blood out. That is all the blood gone.
We used to do that to a sheep every year.
Yeah, that's some
Rami lived in places.
all right. The next one
I
is in
was
Germany.
raised Muslim. That's a much better way of putting it than lived
I
in
know, but it sounds so much
places.
more mysterious.
Yeah, he was raised Muslim. I couldn't think of it.
No, I've done that.
I'm not going to say the name of this next place because I don't speak German, but it was in Germany in 1913, where a family was restrained with sharp tools driven through their body. Their tongues were removed, blood used to paint patterns on animals, and youngest child abducted.
Funny story about
that.
that.
The animals were not harmed.
There it is. Nick
The animals were not harmed in any way, other than the fact that there was blood painted on them.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was in next one. That's not the other one. There's more than the next one.
Wait, did you skip the one in Canada?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Did
the
you mention that
exsanguinated.
one?
That's exsanguinated.
Oh, my bad. I was researching shit on Wikipedia. I must have missed that.
Okay.
The next one was in Plyo, Soviet Union in 1956, where the family was tortured by calcination of their feet. He just pretty much held their feet over the fire that they had made in their fire pit for a long fucking time.
Enough for the bones to fucking show.
Enough for the bones to show. Eventually, their heads were crushed by something they never found the weapon of. Their bodies were covered in fir branches from outside, which they don't understand why. And there were hundreds of bite marks found on them post-mortem. And the youngest child was abducted.
I think it was like 300 something each or something like that, right?
Oh no, that's the next one.
That's the stabbing. Yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah. The next one was in Norway. I'm not gonna say that shit. I'm not gonna say the next one either, because I don't know how to.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. Honestly, the German one is pretty bad. That Norwegian one though is a whole different beast. So is the Icelandic one coming up.
Should we post the link to our notes in our like?
No, probably not the link to my notes, but you can like
a copy of it. Like, can we do a copy of like a transcript almost?
Is like sure, my summaries are very formally made, but my like personal notes are really informal.
Yeah, but it'd be kind of interesting, you know. We'll talk about some stuff later.
I use a lot of swear words.
The next one from Norway.
Dude, Patreon. We do the Patreon.
the Patreon and the Patreon. Make sure to buy our Patreon.
No, that's actually so smart to put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, with our one viewer. Thank you, by the way. We saw the comment. Very sweet comment. Thank you for sticking around.
Let's just make a free Patreon for now.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
No reason not to.
Fuck it.
For our one viewer.
Put it on the list.
It's for you.
Just for you, man.
You know who you are.
Don't say it like that.
Dude, what if by now we have 2 viewers, guys? Whoa. Hold on, this is for both of you.
We still haven't made the TikTok yet, so.
Catch us on TikTok.
Get on our Instagram channel. All right, but the next
Put it on the list, Rami.
Sure.
All right, to continue on.
I'm not saying the name of this. I just tried to pronounce it in my brain for like 15 seconds. I can't fucking do it. The next one in Norway in 1971.
Skudenshaven?
I'm talking here. The family had limbs pulled off. Each were stabbed a very precise amount of 39 times. Their intestines were removed and arranged in patterns around the bodies. And pagan symbols were traced in feces on the walls.
Yeah,
they used... The second youngest child got abducted.
Yeah. He used the shit from their entrails.
And that might smell even worse. That might be why he smells like that. You never know.
Maybe.
You never know.
I don't know how a man that cold can, smell bad. That's usually not how it works, but... What do you mean? What are you talking about, Gerald? I see your fucking face there. What's going on?
He's an SCP.
Yeah, I forgot.
He's still a man that's really, really cold, though.
He's just a cold dude.
Well, we don't know if he's cold. We just know that he's in the cold places.
No, we know he's pretty cold, dude.
He's got to be warm if he's fucking, in that cold and not dead.
He does
He's
have to
ki-
be warm if
he's
he's
an
fucking.
SCP.
You are right about
Yeah,
that.
he
I
does have to
hate
be warm
you.
if he's fucking.
We're okay. I'm not gonna make that comment.
He's killed a lot of people. I think he's a pretty cold dude. But from Eagle's Daughter, Iceland, in 1996, there was a family skinned and decapitated. This was a large family, by the way. I'm pretty sure there was about like 8 children in this family, if I remember
A lot of
correctly.
fucking kids, yeah.
A lot of kids in
A
this
lot
family.
of people.
But they were all skinned and decapitated, except for the youngest child or the second youngest child. I can't remember which one.
The second youngest.
But their bodies were placed in the beds, and the heads were arranged on the stairs in decreasing age order with the parents' heads at the top.
Yep.
Just a little fucked up thing.
Yeah. And these are
Now we get, yeah, go ahead.
really quickly, just to pause. There's going to be a lot of instances of A instead of the Weissnacht event, right? There's going to be SCP-466A logs, which is still part of the Weissnacht events, or
Yeah,
a Weissnacht event.
We're done with the killing
Yeah.
Weissnacht events for
Mhm.
now.
So
There
with
won't be any more this episode or any other episode most likely, but we are currently on to the 15% chance where there's instead a toy made out of human child.
So there are significantly more events technically that we are not aware of that have occurred, because of course 85%, and there's about what, like 6 events that have been shown so far, and there's
a lot
of there's about a similar amount of events. There's six more not events, but the actual SCP-4666A instances are of the 15%. There's 6 of those as well shown here. I guess because of the SCP, they're just showing an equal amount of them. But remember, there are way more of these fucking events. It's just it's not discussed. So thank
There's
God.
way more of both going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, but I mean, this has been happening for a minute, from what I know.
Yeah, it's a long time.
But in Nurmes, Finland, in 1811, there was a small wooden drum with skin made from a human child and tendons used as thread.
There it
also
is.
had two little wooden drumsticks of unequal length. Just for fun, I guess. So you can play it.
Yep.
For fun.
In Gallagher, Wales, a small knife carved from a child's bone with unknown symbols etched into the handle was found. That was in 1857. Little thing right there. In Makat, Kazakhstan, in 1903, there was a little flute crafted from a hollowed-out femur dyed with human blood with unevenly spaced holes. Man, I don't know, but this craftsmanship seems a little bit shoddy. Seems a little bit like, childish, if you would say.
Why?
What are you getting at, Nick?
What are you getting at?
Bangor, Michigan, 1960. A wooden box containing 13 human-like figurines made from children finger bones, decorated with hair and clothing remnants. DNA links the remains to 18 different children. 13 human finger bones, 18 different children. There's some things going on there. You can figure it out. In Cape Coral, Canada, in 1976, a ball made from 19 layers of human child skin, most likely, tightly wrapped around a desiccated child's head, secured with pine resin. Most of this shit was secured with pine resin, by the way. He liked pine resin. He still does.
He still does.
In Bard, Netherlands, in 2006. That's a year after I was born, by the way. This is a little bit crazy. But there was a hairbrush with a wooden handle set with 43 human teeth, each from a different child. 2 teeth matched known SCP-4666 abduction victims. Some crazy shit going on here.
I know, like.
You know, like.
I know, like.
So should I go down to addendum 46601?
If you want to.
I'll read it if you don't want to, Jerome.
So really quickly, I will say that we did this SCP was discovered by the Foundation in 1974. By the ASRRP, or Anomalous Signature Recognition Program. Yeah, and so they found that these deaths occurred in the Northern Hemisphere, but they had been going on for a while. So these, by the way, speaking of which, this could be some form of a really fucked up human, but to the knowledge of the SCP Foundation, these humanoid fingerprints do not have any similarities to human fingerprints. They display
Mhm.
non-human characteristics.
Even the beard hair doesn't really have
including what
DNA in
hair?
it. He's talking to his roommate right now, but the beard hair that has been seen in the different Wisenocked events does not have any DNA in it at all.
Yeah.
None,
So-
just actual inhuman fingerprints, no DNA.
Mm,
Not even
Probably
animal
no
DNA.
cock or balls either.
He probably feeds off gamma radiation. He probably does not have an asshole either. I'm just saying.
He
just saying.
probably doesn't.
that's insane. All right, and on to my most unenjoyed part of this entire thing.
Yeah. You want to take that one over, Gerald?
Go ahead.
So on January 2nd, 2018, following the Wisenocked event number 060198, several SCP-4666-A instances were found in a family's home in Hoona, Alaska.
Pause. Does that
just-
imply that they know about 60,198 of these?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure.
All right, continue.
60,000.
Hashtag 060198.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Among them, though, that were found at this family's home in Hoona, Alaska, was SCP-466-A 0960, which was a crude life-size doll made from the emaciated body of a female child, which had undergone disturbing modifications so far. There was a dress made of dirty clothing that was sewn onto the body and into the skin. The mouth was sewn shut with more dubiously created human tendon thread, and the lips were painted red with a blood-based solution. Fingernails from other children were glued and painted red with the same solution onto that child, which also had 3 fingers missing. The scalp was replaced with that of another child, and the eyes were replaced with painted pebbles. Plucked out. They're not there anymore. But after all that, this child was still alive and was airlifted to a hospital, I think in Juneau, Alaska, where she survived for 18 hours. She was identified as some Russian lady. She was 7 years old. I can't say that name, but I'm sure Gerald will put it up on screen. But she had been abducted by this SCP in Russia, January 2nd, 2016? Yeah, 2016. DNA contesting, confirmed reality. But after she died, an autopsy revealed that she was severely malnourished for over 2 years, which significantly stunted her growth in every way. She was about 90 centimeters tall, 15 kilograms, which is fucking insane. But there were scars, there were burns, improperly healed fractures, calloused hands, and she died of multiple organ failure from prolonged malnutrition. A Foundation agent interviewed the child before her death and applied amnestic procedures to the witnesses.
Yeah.
And we won't, unless y'all really want me to. I don't really want to read the interview itself, but the Volgun video does a very good job.
Yeah.
Of voice acting that entire interview.
You know where to find a link.
Yeah, you know exactly where to find the link. It's downstairs. It's
downstairs.
So go ahead down there, step on down, and get to the Volgun video. But pretty much, it's just a little girl talking about what the fuck was going on in this little fucked up workshop they were being kept in. Not to be a spoiler or anything.
So
we're basically at that part.
The only thing that I will say, to like end it off right, is I will say a few things. So Nick hinted at it earlier, right? The most fucked up part about all of this, the children. I'm just gonna say the quote. This was one of the quotes from her. This was her final haunting statement, right? This is how it's described. When you can't make the toys, you become the toys. So
the children create the toys.
The children made the toys out of the other children. They all got abducted on the same night.
Good.
They were tortured horribly.
They were, yeah. Sorry.
And if you couldn't continue on, you became the toy, in the case of this little girl. So, yes, it is horrible, horrid, disgusting, vile shit. And,
Well,
yeah. What do you mean, well?
what's so gross about wanting some elves to make toys? I mean, isn't that Santa Claus?
Sounds like Santa to me.
So I guess I've got on a serious note, I do have thoughts. I do actually have thoughts about this.
Okay.
So this guy, as I said earlier, this guy is not Santa.
It's not Santa.
Not much about him himself, like the entity
Mhm.
described, points to it being a representation of Santa Claus as seen in popular culture.
Mhm.
But it does seem like this entity, in my opinion, pretends to be Santa Claus. To possibly well, certainly malicious, but possibly sadistic
Mhm.
reasons. And it's like stuff like the footsteps on the roof and leaving presents and having elves that make your toys. And also this is not like explicitly described like this, but when the girl talks about being put in a bag with the other kids and it's a big bag, that to me sounded like a large, like non-Euclidean bag, like it's bigger on the inside kind of
Mhm.
Yeah.
dealio. Which a lot of like Santa popular culture talks about, like his bag that can fit all the presents, right?
Mhm.
Um, he does stink.
He
Which, I mean,
stinks.
Santa Claus doesn't stink, as far as
Listen,
I know. I mean, I met that
those
guy at the
cookies
mall
from-
the other day, and he smelled pretty good.
You smell like Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
Well,
My favorite stench.
that's not what Santa smelled when I saw him.
Yeah, my Santa was a little bit different. Kind of reminded me of
But
this
so,
guy.
kind of did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
crazy, Gerald.
But no,
So you're saying your Santa created gifts out of children?
thank you guys for watching. No, so in all seriousness, though, I'm glad we could display two things this episode because we're running pretty close to time.
Well, you're like
Um,
wrapping up, but I'm not done.
That's fair, and I will let you continue to talk. But I do want to say this one point because we are at 57 minutes, so it can't be super
We
long.
can take this over an hour.
We can absolutely.
If it's 1 hour,
It'll
8
be like
minutes,
an
I don't
hour.
think the two people
It'll be
that
like
watch
an
this are
hour
gonna get mad.
10, an hour 20, and
I have to go somewhat soon though, so y'all may have to continue on without me.
Listen, we're almost
How's
done.
that gonna work?
I could stay for a bit, but I'll have to go grab my food.
Oh, type shit.
I also have to wash the dishes. So.
Typer shit.
But I do live in an apartment with other people.
We'll wrap this
So
up
do
pretty
I.
quick. Don't
Mhm.
worry.
Well, either way, all I was going to say is that I do like that so far we've been able to display two, not representations of Santa, but almost interpretations of the ideology that it is, right? One that's very, very good in a way and is just nonsensical and, and the other one being very dark and demented. I do think that it's an interesting juxtaposition to have those two things for comparison. And the way that SCP works is like the cool part about SCP in general is that not all of it is super messed up, right? A lot of people are just like, oh, all SCP is super, scary and like it freaks you out, and the intent of it is just to hear horror stories. But then you have beautiful SCPs that are just, like my thoughts is
Some
like,
fucking guy.
I know, just a dude, right?
Yeah.
And my thoughts on it are always like, who was the first person to see SCP and be like, I want to make something that's just like nonsensical and cool, that like makes you like the slime, the little slime guy,
999.
yeah, little cool dudes, and like
Just
things
little-
like that. I just think it's
little
interesting.
cheese.
I know this is stupid in some capacity, but I do think it's interesting to see like how humans work in that way, where it's like even though there is like a lot of darkness in places, people will like try and intentionally find the ways to like find some light.
People
I-
love horror.
That's true. People do love horror aspects, but I do think that it is cool that some people will try and find like the light in certain things and make things that are uplifting to the soul is the best way to put it. I guess I just find that interesting. I don't know. I guess that was
No,
the
I mean-
thing that I was going for.
Everybody knows about the duality of man, but here we've displayed the duality of Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It is very
Um,
interesting.
But I guess to wrap up my thoughts on this last guy,
Mhm.
he's strange, right? He's
Mhm.
pretending to be Santa. He's doing things that are for for ritualistic purposes, possibly related to paganism. And now, in my own personal research, I haven't found I mean, obviously they don't describe the symbols that he's writing in blood and shit or
Mhm.
anything, but I'm assuming that it's likely Norse symbology. If I
Mhm.
had to guess.
They do call him the Yule Man.
And right, exactly. And so he's painting ritualistic symbols. He's biting bodies and consuming skin, so possibly a cannibal as well. And
He's not
there's
human though.
well, yeah, he's probably not necessarily human, but he's appearing human, so I'm gonna say cannibalism
That's
for
fair, sure.
now.
I like it.
Mhm.
And he's got this layer deep underground, possibly in the North Pole. They don't exactly say where, but they say it's very, very, very cold. And it's like tunnels and holes, like an ant's nest.
Mhm.
And this guy, I mean, whether he be human or not, this guy is not just fucked up, but he's like powerful.
Mhm.
Powerful as shit. He can teleport.
He's
Mhm.
a strong hit.
He's possibly, I mean, I guess we don't know, but he's possibly invulnerable because he's like surviving in the cold
Mhm.
without any like clothing. They have they haven't contained him, and I mean, how really would they? This guy just teleports out at a blink of an eye.
Mhm.
Um, he's fucked up. He's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's not Santa Claus. The other guy was Santa Claus. We just, I mean, rewind the video if you want to see Santa Claus.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was not the Yule Man.
The
The
Yule Man
other
could
guy.
just be a really pissed guy that like his family got the stuff, and so like he got like influenced by Santa doing that shit. He could be a byproduct of Santa.
Yeah, maybe he was
never
human.
know.
Maybe he just lost his humanity.
Could be a byproduct
Like,
of Santa.
this is some
Yeah.
crazy shit.
So remember, kids.
Never do that.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
What are kids are remembering? What the fuck?
Never
Don't make
kill
toys or else.
everyone.
Wait, no, kids, remember, make the toys or else you'll become the toys.
That's
And
insane.
That is true.
Yes, true. Make the toys or you'll become the toys.
Comment down below what
If
other
you wanna make
SCPs
the
you want us to
toys.
talk about.
Mhm.
And this week's question, do you want to make the toys?
Yeah, which toys would you make if you could make the toys? What up?
You know, the YouTubers are like, and if you watched this far in the episode, answer the question, this week's question in the comments down below. Yeah, this week's question, would you make the toys?
Would you?
Or would you become the toys?
Thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. Sorry
Have
that
a
we cut it
Merry
off a little
Christmas
bit
and a
later, but
Happy
yeah.
Holidays.
Merry Christmas, Happy
Hope y'all
Holidays.
Have a warm one.
We'll see you next
Hope
time.
y'all have a warm.
Catch you later.